Hello everyone, and welcome to the second day of the CSPC 2022. My name is Zinat Ladak, a volunteer with the program committee here at the conference. And today we are here with Dr. Nancy Ross from Queen's University. Dr. Ross is the Vice President of Research at the university, and we are excited to have you here as well as Queen's University's support. So to start off this interview, you have a panel with Queen's University here at the conference titled Critical Technologies and Essential Policies. We're curious to know why that choice for the topic.
Oh, that's a good question. So the interest for us as a university, of course, is the existential threat of climate change. So that's the background to this, right? And the last few conferences, not lost on the university community as being able to make a contribution going forward to a low carbon future. So we know we need the technological advances to do this in terms of carbon capture and new energy sources, new ways of supplying energy. But there's also a huge social change component that goes with it and a social policy component. So Queen's University is ideally set up to make those technological contributions through our Faculty of Engineering and our Faculty of Arts and Science. But also we are expertise in social change and social policy. So we were able to put those two things together really well and set us up for what are the research discoveries that are needed for a low carbon future and how do we implement them in society.
Wonderful. And so thinking of that low carbon future, how do you see Queen's perspective in bringing that transdisciplinary part of that research towards that?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of all hands on deck for the problem that's facing humanity. And universities have to be at the front of that in terms of providing the technological advances together with social change. And so integrating these two together means we'll make progress at the speed of which is required now. So universities around the world, we're not the only ones, but I think we're really well set up to be able to integrate the social sciences, humanities, and engineering that's required for a low carbon future for Canada and the world.
Great, very exciting.
It is.
Yes. And so what other challenges in terms of research is Queen's University tackling?
Right, so we have a lot on the go. So we're known for a number of things, but I would say maybe I'll just point out a couple of areas that we have tremendous global strength. And that first one is the astroparticle physics community at Queen's. It's linked globally through the McDonald Institute. This is building on a Nobel Prize in astroparticle physics, as well as a world-class, I think, best in practice underground laboratory at Snow Lab up in Sudbury, which together with our longstanding Canada First Research Excellence Fund is really putting Canada at the forefront of astroparticle experimental physics globally. So that's super exciting. The other area that we have a major science initiative investment from the Canadian Foundation for Innovation is in the Canadian Clinical Trials Group. So cancer research, we're a smaller city. We're in Kingston, Ontario. We have a tertiary care hospital there. We provide very good care for all kinds of things, but we're very known for our cancer care, and we're also known for our trials. And so we do, together with a network internationally, world-leading, practice-changing cancer trials that have affected many, many patients globally.
It's wonderful to hear that Queen's University is tackling so many challenges in research. And when we think of challenges, we wonder how the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted that landscape of research in Canada. And what's your perspective on that and where you see the post-pandemic future of research going?
So when the pandemic started, I was actually at McGill University. Okay. And the hallmark of that sort of beginning was research kept going. Research was deemed to be essential. And I think that is the fundamental answer to the question, that research didn't stop during the pandemic. In fact, there's a moral imperative to continue to do research in a pandemic. And so a lot of that went on with brave people coming in and working in laboratory settings during the pandemic. I think things got stalled, like people who had to travel for field research, that slowed down. Folks who had extra caregiving responsibilities, that absolutely affected some scientists and researchers more than others. So we have to be cognizant of that on the way back. But I think it's important to know that research didn't stop during COVID. and was deemed essential. It is essential, and even more essential during a pandemic.
Yep, definitely. I certainly agree as a grad student that research
Didn't stop.
did not stop. Well, we truly appreciate your engagement and support at the CSPC here today, and we wonder what you believe to be the greatest benefit of attending the CSPC and supporting us, either for yourself or for Queen's University.
I think this is a really important conference to integrate research findings more quickly into policy and to change. So I applaud this conference in terms of its origins and in what it's trying to do. It's a great networking opportunity, that goes without saying, but hopefully we are getting science and policy coming together in very meaningful ways. Like, we have a federal government who's committed to learning from scientific advances how to make good policy, and I think we need to continue that. I think countries that will continue that will be further advanced socially, technologically, so it's important to keep this meeting going.
Great, I could not agree more with you. Thank you so much, Dr. Nancy Ross, for coming today and being with us, and thank you so much to our viewers.